They're hot all the time.
Yeah, that's what Andrew said.
Great. Okay. Welcome everyone to tonight's commissioners meeting. Please join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first on tonight's agenda is the health department, the grant fund creation.
What?
Do you guys have something?
Yes, we
Hold on. I'd like to amend the agenda to let these guys speak for a minute. They were supposed to be on the agenda tonight and they didn't get put on. I'm sorry.
All right, motion to amend the agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right. Motion. Come on up, guys. Okay.
Thanks, sir.
Go ahead.
My name's William Neese. I'm here on behalf of a fundraiser for the Scott County Young Marines. We want to do a car and bike show and use the parking lot at the health department, which the Young Marines use the back end of the parking lot, now, but we're just trying to get permission to use the parking lot for April 11th from, it starts at 10 to 3. We pass trophies out at 3.
Okay. And you're
This is on the event that he's talking.
you're insured through the Young Marines. That's correct.
Yes, that's why Robert's with me.
That's correct, right, Robert?
Say again, I didn't hear you.
They're insured through you guys.
I just gave her a copy of the insurance for the year for the Young Marines and the special event insurance that we have to fill out for this event, and it's all taken care of already.
Okay. So do you have any there?
No, it doesn't conflict with anything. The health department, you talked to Brittany and we're good out there. As far as the health department not having any events.
It's not the last Saturday of the month when they do the pet food giveaway or nothing like that. So as far as I know, they don't have anything planned for that day. And since it's being that far out, I can stop and touch base with them to make sure. But
Yeah, you might just next time you're out there or whatever. But other than that, I mean, I think it's a great event.
Yeah. Anything for the kids?
outstanding.
So,
I'd like to hear. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we're going to vote on it.
Sir,
So I'd like to make a motion to allow them to use the parking lot of the health department to put on a car show and bike show.
okay, we have a motion. We got a second?
I second.
A second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, guys. Thank you.
Outstanding.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, next we got the health department grant fund creation. Randy?
Do you get one employee system?
So what we have tonight is an ordinance that to establish a fund to administer grant monies received by the Scott County Health Department pursuant to the CPHID Gen Expert System Grant. So this is something that Brittany and the health department's working on. She did send an email out that talked about the kind of monies that this was bringing in. And they do a great job in trying to help and bridge those gaps in funding. And so I think this is a great ordinance to put in place and allows them to grab those funds. So we got a motion to approve the ordinance. What number? I'm sorry. What number would this be?
Give me 1 second. And that is an ordinance, correct?
This is an ordinance.
Okay. I believe that's one.
Yeah.
We've had resolutions, but I don't think we've had an ordinance yet.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve this ordinance one?
I'd make that motion.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Okay, any discussion with this, guys? We good? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. So we want to thank the health department for their work on that, and we'll sign this now. Next on the agenda tonight, we've got the Children's Advocacy Center. We've got Sarah here representing.
I'm back. Thank you for approving my request last time, but it didn't go so smoothly with the commissioners, and I suggested, maybe mistakenly, that we would be eligible for opioid fund, not the restricted funds, the regular funds. And I'm not really sure what next steps are.
So wait a minute, I think the last time you were in here, it's been a few months back. if I
She was
recall,
here in December.
in
Yeah.
December. And we approved how much that night? Was it
15.
25?
It was
15,000.
$15,000. And I remembered, I think you said for the unrestricted fund, and I just thought it might be easier to use the restricted funds because lots of counties haven't used that, but I might be mistaken.
Well, and I hate to say, after I talked to you today, I looked, there had been a resolution written by the commissioners for the unrestricted fund, and then they changed it to the restricted
Oh,
fund.
okay.
So there is a resolution for that, but it's still a 15,000. So that's, the
Okay.
amount stayed the same.
Okay.
There was a second resolution that I spaced.
Okay, so what do I do next? I mean, you already approved it, so you don't really have to do anything, right?
That's right, the funding's approved, so
I
Yeah,
believe
just go to the
the
council.
council has it for the next meeting, right?
Yes.
So just go back. Okay,
Easy enough?
yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
I'm going to say, Sarah, the check should be in the mail with no backup.
Thank you for all you do.
Next tonight, we got the Highway Department.
I need to make a quick announcement tonight, and it's about the highway department. Well, it concerns the highway department. So a while back ago, Kevin came to the council. He asked to have money pulled or moved over to purchase road plate, right?
No, I don't believe we ever went to the council for
Did you
actual
not?
money on the road plates. There was probably a discussion of.
There was a
that, but,
discussion. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we ever went to a formal meeting and went, hey, we need money for road plates. I don't think
Okay.
that happened.
So, we had road plate brought to the county highway garage from J.R. Ward from the city of Jeffersonville and dropped off, and that's been over a year. There was no interlocal agreement ever signed. Anytime that a county and another government entity shares equipment, so on and so forth, there's always an interlocal agreement made so that there's a trace of where taxpayers' money that has been spent on equipment, materials, so on and so forth, is going. It's just like us, anytime that with, Jefferson County or with, Jefferson County, every time that we make agreement with those governments, we always sign an interlocal agreement. That way there's proof and some way of tracking materials, equipment, so forth. And there's never any question about what's going on. Excuse me. So the road plate came to the county highway garage, and without an interlocal agreement, it's only thing here that can be thought is that the material was stolen from Jefferson County, or Jeffersonville City. So I did turn that over to the Indiana State Police on behalf of Scott County, because we don't want to be receiving stolen equipment, materials, or anything. And in my opinion, if somebody will steal for a county, they will steal from a county. So that's why it was turned over to the Indiana State Police. And also, I don't know what, they're going to investigate it. I had no idea, but I do want to go on record that Scott County is clear of any wrongdoing. We wanted to make sure that we did not receive stolen equipment, and that's what was done. So that'll clear us. Also, what's being turned over is ghost employment. That's being investigated too on Mr. Ward at this time. So with that said, that's everything I wanted to say about tonight. I just want to be on record so we're clear of any wrongdoing. I turned all that over on behalf of the county, and that's the end of my statement. Thank you.
Okay, so the first thing I got is annual bids for 2026. Just like in years past, I would just ask that the board approve all bids, and we will utilize them for the best we can to the year. All paperwork appeared to be in order. I think I sent you guys some emails, kind of seeing.
You need a motion to not to
Yeah,
accept that.
typically we just make a motion to approve all bids.
So motion to accept all bids for Kevin.
I'll make a motion to accept all bids.
You got a motion, second?
I'll second.
We got a second? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Thanks, sir.
Did Jeffersonville come pick up the plates today?
No. They're still there as of right now.
They're there right now.
They did reach out and said they were going to pick them up.
I'm
Or
sorry?
They did reach out and said they'd make arrangements to get them though.
Okay.
The place. Yeah, I just wanted to share with you real quick. This is from our annual bids this year. So kind of the first time we've been able to look at actual numbers instead of speculated numbers that we got back from annual bids. So with our bids, it looks like we're going to be around $1.24 square yard for chip seal. We ran down, this is just, these particular roads right here are 14.4 miles that we're going to try to do in-house. This isn't including grant work. This is actual in-house work. So 14.4 miles. So we're looking at probably around 178,000 that we're going to put into it this year. So kind of broke down for you guys because I know you talk to people, so you kind of got an idea. We got some really good numbers on asphalt this year. I think Matt come in at it's either 46 or 47. 47, I think is what it is off the top of my head, per ton for surface, which is probably one of the better prices I've seen in several years. But you can kind of still see the comparison. So a 2-inch overlay is really considered preservation work. So we're looking at 178,158 on the 14 miles of chip seal. You compare that to a 2-inch overlay, it's 750,276. So it's about a $579,118 difference just on what we're going to do this year. So that'll help spread the wealth a little bit, spread some years of service in the roads hopefully. So anyway, those were numbers that we got, true numbers. Kind of wanted to share them because before we just always kind of went off numbers that we thought we had. The only other thing I got quickly is we bought a brine tank off of Gov Deals, 10,000 gallons. It's right on the border of Nebraska. We ended up buying it for right at $1,100. I think it's going to cost us $1,000 to get it, but that still only puts us in a 10% cost of the full retail tank. So we're trying to bring that program in as economical as we can. So I don't know what Nebraska's, is it NDOT or whatever, state of Nebraska tank. So it was stored indoors, so it doesn't have the UV ray damage and such. So they were probably upgrading, got plenty of money, whatever. So we did get that. So just kind of, I guess, requesting permission. Some of our trucks will be, hopefully right at the beginning next week, would be out of the state to retrieve that.
It just goes to show you how tough a tank is to find, right?
Well, we've bid on several for the last year. We just got outbid every time. Ohio seems like they're always selling them, but people pay a lot of money for them there for some reason. And we didn't want to come in, 50% on an old used tank, but this tank looks really good because the UVs is what kills the plastic, and it's been stored inside. And 10,000 gallons, that'll get us. I think I figured this morning that would have enough that we could do all the county miles at like 50 gallons per lane mile, which is pretty heavy. That would allow us to store that much, so that'll help coming into the next year. But anyway, just kind of heads up, whatever.
Can you send Johnny White and a few students to go pick it up?
That's who I'm trying to plan on right now. The sheriff did graciously gonna let us use his trailer that sits low to the ground because it's a pretty tall tank. So they're trying to get that all together, and I'm trying to let them have it, figure it all out, how they're going to get a hold of it, and they can have it. So only other quick thing I got, and this isn't today, this is just a thought process of some things I've been working on and some things that's happened over the last 3 months. I think 2 years ago, maybe something like that, we started commercial permits where contractors need to pull permits from the county highway if they're going to work in the right of way or cutting the road or so on and so forth. That program's been fairly successful, probably, I wouldn't say too successful, but like last month, I probably wrote 30 permits. BSM's doing a lot of fiber optics through Lexington area, all out through there. So the problem I'm seeing right now with that is, one, I think we probably maybe ought to attach a charge to the commercial permits anyway. And my thought processes on this is, and if this is legal, works, if that maybe could fund, I don't think we have a need for a full-time permits guy or investigator, but maybe if it could be added to another guy's duties here and there, because right now we're not policing them at all. So if they come in, I fill them out. Okay, sounds good. And then, I get word that, hey, these guys got the whole road blocked and got excavators sitting on the road, those kind of things, which you're going to get if you don't kind of follow up on it a little bit here and there. So
That would essentially be a policy thing like Ryan did. But
Kevin,
yes.
real quick.
I'm sorry.
Um,
Ryan did, like changing the print we're doing.
You was joking about
We need to put a process. in
sending
place.
Johnny White and
He can
students.
work with them.
Yeah, I ain't going to send no students, but I might
Right.
send Johnny.
Thank you for, I just didn't want you to be led down to a
No,
rabbit hole there.
we're he's on that. I think he is going to participate in it, but we're
Yeah,
hunting
Johnny
for
White
another guy.
might go, but no students because we
No,
don't
we
have
wouldn't.
insurance on students.
We would put the tank really don't have any weight. But it is big, but it doesn't have any weight. So
Let's work with Alex and get something set up with that, because
yeah, I think it
the
needs
whole
to.
permit process, because
Yeah.
we get those calls too. It's
Yes.
like, hey, they've been out here, and it's like, who's out there?
Yeah,
and then we
it was. I think we got a good start on it. It's just not good. I think it's the best way to put it. It's just like it's something, but it ain't much. So yeah, we need to figure. And I thought, well, if it could subsidize the pay somehow.
Yeah. No,
maybe it could.
I'm with you. So
Well, we'll work on that. And I'll try to get you a number on how many permits actually was pulled. I really haven't. I got them, but I haven't pulled that all together. We kind of look. It kind of goes in spurts. Obviously, it should ramp up right now.
Do you know if any other highway departments in the area do that as well?
I don't. I'm sure Clark County bound to have something with the amount of housing additions and such.
process, however that looks.
Yeah. And I could reach,
SOP out there.
I could reach out and kind of see maybe how, I know a couple of those guys, kind of see how they're working it. And, yeah, I'm sure Floyd, those kind of counties got a lot of infrastructure. They're bound to have something, which I don't really think there's anything wrong with our ordinance per se, and what we got, just kind of like how we're putting them out there and how we're policing them. Maybe may have big things.
So, and we're just focusing on commercial permits. Or,
I mean, I leave that up to you guys.
I think that's fine.
You know, I think our citizens probably pay a lot for a lot. So I'm not big on, like, if it's a culvert, we can go look at it and not charge anybody. I don't see really no big thing. But if it's commercial and the guy's going in and put fiber optic, those companies making money, big money.
Yeah.
So, you know, they don't always follow the rules for sure out there. We get a lot of tree trimming companies too. We always have a lot of traffic problems out of. But
Yeah.
if they know someone is around, they'll act a little better.
Good plan.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin.
Let's see, what else we got tonight? Let's see, Visitors Commission. Board appointment with this way.
I would like to, the Visitors Commission has been short of a member for several months. Obviously, that's something that we need to continue with. And I'm here to suggest that Lisa Baker, who currently owns the Beehive Assisted Living here and in Georgetown, she's been contacted and she is willing to take up the position. And so I'm here to maybe get your permission to let her know.
What was her name?
Lisa Baker.
Lisa Baker. Great.
Yes.
Does that appointment give you a full board now, or will
It does, yes.
I'd like to make a motion to add Lisa Baker to the Visitors Commission Board.
That's fine. We got a motion. We got a second.
Second.
We got a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you.
Just curious,
Yes.
and Lisa takes the place of the lady that was at the Rain Tree or the campground?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Monty
Sorry, I
Fern.
forgot her name.
Yeah,
Mrs.
Monty Fern
Fern.
is her name. And she's the lady who resigned her commission. But Miss Baker will fill the spot.
Yeah, Lisa did a good job. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah,
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Next on tonight's agenda, we've got Seed Grant Fund creation.
And I sent out an email very late to you guys that has a PowerPoint that kind of explains the seed grant. This is something that Jeremy McDaniel and Eric Lowry brought in and spoke to us about quite a while back. So
I'm sorry. We're being told we can't hear all of us very well.
Okay. What ordinance number is this?
it would be two.
Two. Okay, yeah. It's amazing it's only two, but.
I know.
Okay, so this is ordinance for the seed grant money. It's for the Scott County Emergency Management Department pursuant to the IEO sowing enriched and enhanced data sets for seed grant. Motion to approve this.
I'll make that motion.
Motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
We got a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Sign on the right side this time. Okay, so we've got, next tonight, we've got code enforcement officer.
Okay. I'll speak a little bit on that. That's mine. I asked to have that put on the agenda. currently in Scott County here, we have, rules and regulations involving, properties, your a certain standard in which people needs to keep their property. And over the years since I've been on here, it's always one, we go through all these steps to reach out and we try to get people to clean up their property, and they come in sometimes and they'll say, well, we're going to do it. And then they don't do it. And the problem is there's no end in sight to it. There's nothing to put in place. A lot of counties around us, and even Scottsburg City and Austin City, have a code enforcer put in place. I think we need to work a little bit on what the duties are yet, what we would like that code enforcer to do. But I would like to bring it up to a vote tonight that we add a code enforcer duties to Tim Brenner's position out there at the, the health department. And then after that, we can set a workshop meeting to discuss the duties that we'll be adding to that position. So I would like to make a motion that Scott County does add a code enforcement officer.
So right now, I mean, so your thoughts are putting additional duties on Tim at the health department,
Yes.
and
That will not start yet. We're just making a statement that we will be doing that.
so we
If it
need
goes
to
through.
figure something out, because we've got problems out there, and there's certain actions obviously this board can take, and planning and zoning has some ordinances that they can push, but it seems like that there's a big disconnect out in the county when it comes to actually, with some enforcement. We send the letters out, and everybody knows, 9 out of 10 letters that go out, there's no reply to them, or there's no action being taken place on those letters, because typically, they get thrown in the trash or moved to the side, and nothing's ever been addressed with those letters. So we actually need somebody who can actually go out, knock on the door, and get a plan of action put in place, because until we actually have something like that around here, I don't see a lot of urgency to clean up property and do things. Now, all of this stuff gets tricky. It's been that way since I've sat in this seat. Right?
Yes, it does.
So just because the way I live doesn't necessarily mean that's the way, everybody else needs to live. But I do think there needs to be some good ground rules put in place. And we have those, because we do have ordinances, and we want those followed. So having somebody out there, boots on the ground, taking a look at some of these places. And again, if there's an issue out there and somebody says, hey, I can't afford to do this or take care of that, then there's another plan of action for that as well. How can we help you then take care of that? But I think this is a good step in the right direction with what you're suggesting. I don't have a problem with that.
Let me go off a little bit, real quick, interrupt you real quick, because I want to clarify what I think you're saying, and I just want to say it different so everybody understands.
Mm-hmm.
I believe what Greg is trying to say, and I agree. And it's something that Zach has said in the past. The county is not an HOA.
Right.
We are not going to get involved with, okay, you don't like the way something's going on. That's not the issue here. The issue goes to health. If somebody's living in a manner that affects the neighbors or their children's health situations, then the code enforcement officer would go out, he'd write a warning, so many days. If it's not fixed, he'd write a ticket, so many days, not fixed. It goes, then there's an avenue to take it to court. So.
Yeah, and that's the big trigger, right?
Right.
Yeah, building a case, and that's.
Yeah.
You got anything in?
No, health and safety, like burn pits in Iraq, Afghanistan, people live there, come back, cancer, everything else. So no, I agree. Health and safety is a big concern. I'm not saying I have any concern with this. I think it's too early to add like duties to Tim when we haven't talked to HR or got a list of duties, or even if Tim's up for it, or if there's something else that we need to do. Like, I'm not turning this down. I think something needs to be done. But that's what I'm thinking. Like, do we have a list of things? Have we talked to the HR firm about it? Or
I have reached out to Wagner, Irwin, and Shield. They gave me a copy of how other places are doing this. And like I said, right now, we need to have a workshop meeting structured and decide the actual, do we want to adopt those particular job description? But right now, all we're voting on is that we are going to add a code enforcement officer, and it will go to the health department.
like a net new position or additional duties assigned to Tim?
Additional duties. Tim has said that he will be retiring within a year.
Okay.
So we don't want to, the reason this is being pushed is because we don't want to settle on this right now. We want to get this established. And then hopefully, once we do our workshop meeting and come up with the duties, Tim can then implement this and get this going. And before Tim leaves, ideally, we need to put somebody with Tim for about 6 months to learn that job. So Tim needs to learn this job in order for him to teach this job.
Well, that's a good point. Somebody is certainly going to have to shadow him. And I think Tim knows that as well.
Marty Randall did a great job for the county.
Yeah.
And when she passed away or whatever, and we never did put nobody with Marty. And we are struggling now, still yet
All
to this
that
day.
knowledge left. Yeah.
Yeah. And Stacy's doing a great job. But guys, it's like trying to drink from a fire hose.
Well, that's
the situation we need to try to avoid for the people of this county.
yeah, that's good management anyway. I mean,
Oh,
that's.
So- I would like to make a motion to add code enforcement officer to Tim at the health department.
I think I would be okay with that. I mean, and let Tim take a stab at, again, you're talking about having a workshop meeting, laying out.
Yes, this won't start immediately. I just want to make that clear to everybody that's listening to the meeting. Please don't start calling the health department and asking Tim to go out and do things. We will make that announcement once we have our meeting and it's been turned over to Tim.
Asking the illustration. Like violation fines, a whole lot of.
Right, there's a
structure.
lot of,
Yeah, a lot of stuff to go into it.
yeah. But we need to just take this in steps, and this is just the first step. The end of the year will be here before we know it.
Had a motion.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Okay, thank you, guys.
transfer station employees.
I had put that on there and I thought I had taken
Oh,
it
I'm
off
sorry.
and I'd sent an
Okay.
email on that.
We'll
I'd
scratch
like to
that.
speak about that one when Alex is here
Okay.
because it does entail an employee that's not been paid. And I need some help in working through that one. So
Okay.
Okay.
if we could table that
So,
to the March.
I'll make a motion to table transfer station employees.
We've got a motion, second.
One second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Consideration of regular and special invoices.
Do we have any special invoices?
There were no special ones. I'm sorry, just
Okay.
regular.
Just regular.
Email on
Okay. Motion to approve.
it. I'll make a motion to approve the regular invoices.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor, please say aye.
All right.
Aye. That's- Okay, motion to approve payroll.
I'll make a motion to approve payroll.
Randy makes a motion.
Second.
Adam seconds. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Consideration of regular meeting minutes. Got those down here. It's a signature sheet on that.
You have a signature sheet for the payroll or for,
Is it not
Special
on the very
invoice.
back one?
no. But we can sign the
Just
back,
sign the back page if you don't care.
the reverse back page. Or do you want us to sign?
Let me, on the invoices, is there a space at the bottom of the last page you can,
Very little.
if not, then you can flip it over and do the back of that.
I think we get it here.
Okay.
Greg, I'm gonna leave room for you at the top.
Motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
Motion.
One second.
You got a second? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
You got any public comments tonight? Anybody sign the list? No? Sure.
Board
Lot for me,
recognizes Geraldine Williams.
Geraldine Williams.
Hello.
Hi. Lot to wrap my head around tonight, things I didn't expect. I have one question. Well, I have some thoughts about the code enforcement officer. I hope that someone has looked at, before you talk about just handing all this duty to Mr. Bruner, that someone actually understands his job, his load, what he does, and his skill set. He's an engineer. And then you're tasked with finding someone, if you're going to replace him, someone with engineer degree or skills that's capable of doing, his plate is full. His plate is full. And I thought enforcement came at the end when the information came to the commissioners, and the commissioners were supposed to enforce these. I mean, someone said that they sent someone out to the Big Ox property and they wouldn't let them do anything. At that point, something further should have been, not just lay down and find a different approach. We've had other properties in town that I've said in meetings that I have nothing to do with that property. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do. the county needs help. But at one point, the termination of the commissioners was told the person, we'll clean it up for you and put it on your taxes. And they said, okay. And it stopped. So there are other options and things that need to be considered before we start. In my opinion, and I'm respectfully saying this, in my opinion, before we upset the whole process of engineering, if anybody's ever worked with Mr. Bruner, you know what his skill sets are, how smart he is, and how he helps the people in the county. And I just can't see that he has got enough time to put this in his plate and plan to train someone else and then find someone else that can do it all. And then you have to consider the county is seems to be dire straits financially. If you hire somebody that's going to do all that, how much is it going to cost us? I'm not talking about, and I'm making this number up, $50,000 a year. I'm talking about the training. I'm talking about a take-home car. I'm talking about gas. I'm talking about benefits. I'm talking about all those things where pretty soon a $50,000 job turns into needing to add $140,000 to your payroll. And I just believe that this needs to be vetted very carefully and not emotionally, not to make a point, but to do what's right for the county. I don't know why the Big Ox property has gotten so much attention when there's lots of places in town in the county that needs attention. And it's not about, it should be about health and safety of the people. That's what this needs to be about. So I just want to say that, and hopefully when you do your workshop, that all this is considered, because it's not a simple solution. Thank you.
All right, I'd like to address some of that stuff. First off, this isn't about Big Ox. So,
But
Well, I
let me
mentioned-
say
I
this,
mentioned other
Big
ones.
Ox, the reason that the
Most
commissioners
recent.
got involved in Big Ox is because of those two things you just mentioned, health and safety.
Health and safety, that's fine.
and there was complaints made.
Yeah.
So, commissioners, and let's get this straight, okay? Because maybe, I think maybe, I'm not going to say you meant to. I think maybe,
Maybe I what?
I'm not going to say that you meant to do this, but it's a little insultful because commissioners cannot make any decisions like that. If somebody has to make a complaint and it has to be filed, we cannot do it on behalf of anybody. That
I
would be
didn't
illegal.
say you did.
Okay.
I didn't say that, so
Okay.
don't be insulted.
Well, okay. I want to get that clear because that's been kind of going around on Facebook. I seen it and heard it, whatever.
On
I just want
Facebook?
to make sure that I didn't say that you did. I'm just saying, let's get that out of the way. Somebody had to file a complaint or we couldn't be talking about it.
That's the rule.
That's
I
the
hear.
first thing. And as far as Tim's already said that he's retired. There's no better time for us to add this to that job than right now and to get it in place. We have to do that. And as far as asking Tim whether or not he has time, Tim works for the commissioners. The people at the health department work for the commissioners. We're not trying to do anything to anybody. It's not a political game. He is an employee of the county. And I hope Tim stays. But if Tim decides that this is too much work for him to do and he wishes to quit, that is up to him. So to say that we need to go to him and ask him if
That's not what I
that's like-
said. That's not what I said. I said someone needs to look at his job description, his duties, and what he has on his plate. I didn't say ask him.
His duties increased in what he was doing, and he had other responsibilities, and they took some of those responsibilities away from him. So he does have time. And it's just a matter of driving by property, knocking on the door, and having a talk. He's out in the county all over the place anyway, and the health department already has a vehicle. So it's not an additional vehicle. Tim is already driving. a deal. So I'm just trying to clear up what you asked. I
You
just want
can,
to make sure it's
but
addressed.
what I said still stands, that it needs to be looked at very closely before it's done. That's what I said.
Well,
It
that's
needs to-
why we're having a workshop meeting.
That's
And
what I
that's where
said, when
was
you
gonna
have
go
your,
back. That's why I agree to the workshop
Yeah.
part, because I think it's, we can weigh out, it may work, some things may not work, and there's going to be some ideas. And obviously Tim's got all the experience that's going to help weigh in on what can be done and not be done. And we'll take all that stuff into consideration, obviously, through the workshop and then how that looks after it's over with. But, to be honest, the more I sat here and think about this through discussion, I mean, Tim is kind of the expert in that fact when we talk about health and safety, right? So he's going to know the triggers of what qualifies to what degree and what actions probably should take place. And he certainly knows that role much better than any of us.
and then the other part is, when and if he retires, getting his replacement has to be able, when they come out to your property and they use all those little things to get the grade of the land and all those things, you have to have somebody that's either trained, can do it, an engineer. And it's not just going to be, let's find someone over here and ask them to start doing that.
I'm
Just
not
like when,
100%
you
sure.
just like when
you see
Zach
what I'm
left,
saying?
we had to hire another attorney. I understand exactly what you're saying. It's a
But
professional service.
that was my, I didn't come prepared to speak, but talking about Tim and the enforcement officer, it was in my head.
It's a good
I
question.
hadn't decided I was going to speak, but I felt like I need to speak up to be sure that someone looks at the whole picture before a decision is made.
Yeah, and you're right. That's not an easy job to fill. I certainly agree with that.
And who knows? Maybe this next individual will require more money, and that's the case, so be it. I understand what you're saying about the county. You think that the county is broke, from what you're being told by the council, but yet the council wants to, here we go. But the council wants to spend $60,000 to do a study on our employees to see if their pay is in line with other counties around us. Do you know that information's on Gateway for free? But yet they won't spend $60,000 to pay somebody to do that for them instead of looking on Gateway. So it makes you wonder if we're really as bad as what they say, right? That's just my opinion.
I don't know. I just wanted to talk about the code enforcement officer. Thank you for letting me
Well,
talk.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Anybody got anything else? Kev?
Caldwell Contracting did get the roof put on yesterday at the highway department. We did run into a lot of damage underneath. So they replaced 14 sheets of OSB. So the original bid is included one sheet. So I made the call, told them to go ahead and replace the damages. They got the pictures and everything. So for $50 a sheet, which is very economical. So about $727. But I had them write a separate invoice for that. So we still have the 19.5 for the 50 square shingles, and then we got that separate for the OSB, additional repairs to the OSB, which surprised me because honestly, 14 sheets is 10% of the roof. So they had a lot of damage.
Yeah, I'm not surprised a bit.
So anyway, it's fixed, but I just wanted to let you know, bring that up. And if you see two invoices, that's why. One's for the OSB repair, one's for the actual shingles. That way you voted on.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
it.
you, Kevin.
Thanks.
Somebody else have something? Marcel?
I gave some information. Oh, I got her second. My name is Marcella Campbell. I gave Randy some information on a property. Supposedly it was started in 2010. That's when Mike Jones was on the commissioners. It started 2010, and then the first thing there, it was like 2016 when the first letter was sent out. And I think Greg's looking at it now. You can see the multi-times on this property. Nothing was ever done. When it came down to the last meeting, the commissioners had the lady on the phone that owned the property, and they told her it probably could cost up to $4,000. She didn't have the money to clean it up. So they told her it was going to put on her taxes. Well, okay. Here we are, 2026. I also sent Randy pictures of the property. So this one's only, I mean, not that we're dwelling on Big Ox Road. 3 years is nothing compared to 2010, if that's actually when that started, if you want to look at the records. I've got umpteen properties by my house. I know they went to Marty. That was after she passed, which the people that took over, I know they were probably loaded down with different other tasks. Well, I can take you pictures and send you all kinds of things. I know some people may have trouble doing better. If you guys are willing to work with them, that's great. But if you do get this enforcement officer, okay, you guys had stages you went to. This one always went to Bob Houston, if you see on that paper. I mean, you guys did the legal parts. All the notes were sent out. Even on this one out here on Big Ox. I mean, I don't know what you guys can do, but to me, if they went to the property and you guys had the legal part, why couldn't the sheriff went out there to do his part? I mean, I don't know how far that goes. But anyway, what I'm saying is, so if you do get this officer, is it something that's going to be tied up legally? Like once you find them, does it have to go before the judge? My understanding, the ordinance at Austin on their weeds, they've got a lot of their properties tied up through the court, trying to get people to maintain the property. Nothing against Austin. I know we're talking county, but you do a drive. Even you guys, if you guys can enforce it yourself. You know, I even bid Mike Jones, nothing against him, when he was in. I said, I challenge you guys to drive your area. If you need some, for his health issues. You know, I know some people might have the money to do what they need to do. And I believe you guys would work with them if you could. But, you know, sometimes I feel like the commissioners let us down to a certain point in the past. Like I said, this one started 2010, and it just fell off. So, but.
What happened?
And people's been living on this property. That one picture of that camper, a woman and child don't need to be in that just a few months ago. I mean, that's my concern on this property.
Sometimes what happened, and this is why we're trying to address this with some of this code enforcement, like on this property here, the person did say, they came to us and said, hey, we'll clean up the property.
Yeah, I understand that, right? If they
Yeah.
did, yeah, because you guys,
And once we make that deal, okay, we'll let you. We found out the hard way, that resets the whole thing.
and I
So
know
it has to go back to
Zach did
square one.
he did umpteen things on this. I don't know how much it cost the county on that. The letters, the time he spent, unless his pay, I don't know if his salary or what.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, you know, you go so far just like that one and then it ends. You know, just, you know, why take it to court or whatever, you know. But if this guy here, if he's going to do the same thing, if it's going to tie it up in court, not do some kind of procedure to get it done, what's it going to accomplish?
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know what you guys can do for us, your stipulations. I don't know.
Yeah, I think this year, this is the year that we're going to start really working on this stuff. Because, like I said, I've been on this board now for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to do something. It's time.
And like I said, I don't know what your authority is. Like say you drove by and seen something pretty hazardous. I don't know if you have the will to take care of it without a complaint yourself. Like say, hey, this is my county or my jurisdiction or whatever, your district.
Our first call is usually to Tim.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't know how much
But-
you guys got, right?
But again, we cannot,
I know you have to
because
have a
we are
complaint.
elected officials and we are elected by the people, we cannot drive by somebody's property and decide, hey, that needs to be cleaned up. We
No,
have
man,
to
you can
have-
still acknowledge it. And like you said,
Sure, yeah.
say,
We can
hey,
acknowledge it, yeah.
this is on mine. This has been going on for a long time, you know.
Yeah.
I can tell you a place out there close to me, you know, they had a trailer, then they yanked one out there. The neighbors had called and asked about it. Trailer's still sitting out there, and I guess they lost the property. No one lives there now. It's all growed up. You know, this is on Shea Road. That's a pretty nice area out through there.
Mhm.
But like I said, you know, it's definitely a task. I don't know how you guys are going to handle it.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
is.
you know, your concerns are very valid, not only with this property, but the entire process. I mean, I can tell you, from my standpoint, and I think from the Board of Commissioners standpoint, even in our conversations when we hired our new attorney, was, we're focusing on cleaning up the county.
Right.
He seemed to be on board with that idea when we threw that at him, because we're going to really dig into the laws and, try to find that, obviously, the legal avenues for us to do that. And, we've addressed this, or I've addressed it in many areas. And every one of us sitting up here has probably had, a half dozen calls over some property somewhere.
I guarantee it, yeah.
We've decided that, this has become, kind of ground zero for us. And Randy, you're right. I think this is a year that we're really taking this kind of stuff on and making sure that we're trying to enforce everything that we've got in place.
Right.
And trying to put teeth to it. And so that's our big goals, or I would think should be our big goals for 26 as well, because we all understand that some of these properties and such in those areas like you're talking about, and when we have a nice area, and I also know that there's a lot of vacant land out there. I also know that there could be potential development, down in some of those areas, and how that discourages maybe some investment, obviously, in those areas. So,
Right.
we want to try to do the best we can and try to encourage investment, and then, encourage folks that live in our county to take care of their properties the best they can, the best of their ability. And if they can't, then maybe we can help with that.
Like I said, if those people did lose that property, people across the street, there's a really nice home. They remodeled it. And I guess they're the ones that start to complain on it, but then there it is.
Yeah. No, I
And
totally
I think
hear you.
everybody thinks they're just,
But again, it's kind of like Geraldine was pointing out earlier. I mean, some of those triggers, though, for us is obviously health and safety out there at those properties. So those are first and foremost that we want to address.
Right.
And so, and then I think the second part of that just comes to just pride. We want some people to have pride. We don't want you to drive down the road and throw trash out the windows, where
Right.
a lot of our ditches are full of trash.
Well, I mean, one issue, and I'm gonna go off what you said, because this is not that particular property, but the other property that she was talking about. You have people have the mindset, these little sheds are too expensive to purchase,
right.
but they can find somebody who'll give them an old house trailer, because house trailers are expensive to tear down and get rid of. So to them, in their mind, they think, well, I'll just bring a house trailer in here, and now I've got a great big shed that I can fill full of stuff.
Well, see, that's that
And
property there. That trailer was pulled in like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and that's what's being used
But I
for,
guess
a
he
shed.
called, they said something about in the county, if you pull a trailer from one area in the county, it's different than just bringing one into the county. So I don't even know how all that part worked.
And
Yeah.
I think that that's something that we need to sit down and address. Once a trailer is at a certain age, it shouldn't be allowed to enter this county.
Well, Marty already has some things set up on that. I mean,
And see, I was curious
nothing
too.
past a certain year can come into the county.
Like when they assess your property, if they come out there and assess, my property, I'm living in a mobile home, and then they come out there to assess it next time, there's 2 mobile homes there. Isn't there ever a red light there? I mean, is that any part of their job to say, hey, they got 2 sheds and a barn?
Yeah.
To go off what you said there, you're right, there is, but I think the issue is there's a big hole in the middle of that, because what we're saying is an old trailer cannot come into this county. That doesn't mean an old trailer that is already in this county cannot be moved across county.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I understood, what that guy
Yeah.
had said, yeah.
And that's what we need to say, hey, if there's an old trailer on a piece of property, once it's removed, it has to go.
But my theory is, if they come out and assess and there's 2 trailers there, have them just add the taxes if they can on that some way.
Yeah.
And
that's-
not see if
yeah.
it's even legally supposed to have been there. But, I don't know what everybody's responsibilities are. But other departments might be helping make this better, but who knows?
Well, and those are a lot of things too that, that's why we talked with our attorney during those interviews, of really trying to get some teeth and look in ways to, clean up the gaps in the whole trailer business too. We need to really pull all that out and look and see how it's worded and make sure that, you know, if we do move forward with this ordinance position on a code enforcement guy, that we can enforce the ordinance that we got in place. And then what are ones that we need to add? And again, working with our attorney.
And even like,
Certainly do.
that's another thing, I'm glad you hit the attorney thing. You know, back in the day, Bob Houston took care of everything. Now we have 2 attorneys. So to me, I don't know if you guys ever look at that, because when it did come to these lawsuits, they don't do us any good as far as I know. You have to end up getting outside attorneys. So are we really doing that well having 2? But that's just a theory, just saying, so.
Yeah. No,
All right, thank you for your
And
time.
I said something there real quick, but I want to make sure that I clear this up. I want that everybody to understand. There's nothing, I understand people sometimes cannot afford a new trailer. I don't want to say that that doesn't mean that you can't put a used trailer in, but there has to be something in place in this county that says you cannot move one trailer from one piece of the county and move it into another, and it'd be a 1970s model mobile home. And not because we're trying to pick on anybody who is financially struggling, but it's because that 1970s home does not reach today's code standards.
Some of those
Building code
1974s, I can take you to one on Highway 31. It's an old mobile home, but the lady's maintained it. She paints it. She's in her 80s.
Yeah.
You know, it just depends. I mean,
Oh, and
there's some old
but
ones.
once it's been there, sitting there, I mean, it's
There's some,
grandfathered.
you know, if they maintain them.
But
keep
I'm
them up.
talking about, moving them in,
Right.
using them for sheds or using them for means of cheap living, and I get it. And I'm not trying to, like I say, I don't want to pick on anybody for
Right.
that.
There's
but
some nice ones out there. And like I said, you know,
There has
this
to
one,
be
the ones
some
I'm
type of
concerned has got
standard for
broken out
safety.
windows. The windows are lifted up. It's bad, but you know.
It's a tough, it's a hornet's nest.
But yeah, you guys, hopefully you make it better.
Yeah.
Work it out.
Hey, and thank you for bringing this up. 'Cause
Yeah.
It really does kind of highlight the whole code enforcement thing.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Anybody got anything?
Do you?
No, I'm just gonna give a shout out to Joanna and tell her happy birthday. But that's all I have.
Who's joining?
My girlfriend.
Okay. At this time, I think Greg would like to sing happy birthday to Julie. No?
I'm not a good singer.
You're passing?
Air guitar, not singing.
All right. I'd like to make a motion to end this meeting.
Motion to adjourn, second?
Second.
Second, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned. You're on.